The Queen City is ready to play host for the ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship right outside of Spectrum Center. I'm Riley Klaus, joined by Landon Weaver. Landon, we've got a matchup today between the top seed Duke Blue Devils and the 2 seed UVA Cavaliers. And I can't believe we've already made it to this stage, and it's going to be a great matchup.
It's crazy. It's day 5 already, Riley, and we're on the final day. And what a matchup. You got the 1 versus the 2. It's chalk, but you couldn't ask for anything better.
And while we've been busy in front of the camera telling you what's going on and giving play-by-play of games, we've had a great crew all week covering the matchups on the writing side. So for more insight on this upcoming matchup between these 2 powerhouses, here's our writers panel.
Thanks, guys. And well, this is the matchup we've all been waiting for. Number 1 Duke, number 2 UVA. And I want to take a look at Duke here, who they've become a little more human, it seems like, without Ngungba and looking at Caleb Foster's injury, but still with ACC Player of the Year Cam Boozer, they're going to be a tough out for the Hoos.
Well, Boozer delivered a 20-plus point double-double against Clemson last time out. In Florida State in the quarterfinals, he was a little bit more quiet, but that was because he was operating more as a point guard and as a distributor, passing off to his teammates. I think one name to watch is Isaiah Evans. Poured in 32 points against Florida State, more quiet against the Tigers, just 6 points on 1 of 9 shooting. But I think if both Boozer and Evans can get going, UVA could be in for a really long night against the Blue Devils.
The Blue Devils tonight are going to have to space the floor with their limited size, no Ngongba for them. Malik Brown and Cameron Boozer are going to hold it down for them in the paint. They are great on the perimeter, so that's how they're going to take down the Cavaliers tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this kind of reminds me of what we saw last year here at the Spectrum Center. Cooper Flagg went down a few minutes into their quarterfinal matchup, and Duke had to play without him. He was fine for the NCAA tournament, but had to go without him for a little while and still ran the table. And, you know, Duke gets all this publicity and all this press for having these one-and-done stars, but really, they're always such a good and such a well-rounded team, and I still think, even with all of these injuries, they should be decent tonight. And let's flip the switch to the 2nd seed Virginia Cavaliers. You know, in their first season under Ryan Odom, Virginia has been a really good team. Obviously, it lost to Duke in John Paul Jones Arena a couple weeks ago, but they've built a really good season. Caden, what stood out to you about Virginia?
The energy with the Cavaliers is what stood out to me with them. Jakari White, he has his Jakarmi behind him. They'll be here in the Spectrum Center tonight, as well as Chance Mallory, the freshman from Charlottesville. So just him bringing in the ACC Tournament Finals in his first season with Virginia alongside Ryan Odom. The storyline's just right itself with the Cavaliers.
Well, I think one matchup to watch is going to be whether Johan Grunlow can be able to suit up for this one. He was sporting ice around his wrist in the locker room last game. It'll be interesting to see whether he can be able to go, and if so, what extent he'll be able to operate at. I think Hugo Onyenso is going to be another name to watch. He poured in 8 blocks in the 3rd round game, and then he poured in 4 blocks in the semifinal game. I think if he can be able to be effective as a shot blocker and as a rim protector, then UVA has what it takes to contend against the Blue Devils this time around.
Yeah, Thomas, you mentioned Grunlow, you mentioned Onyenso. Those are 2 of the top 3 shot blockers in the entire ACC. And so if you're looking at a team, they have the number 1 2-point defense in all of the country. If there's any team that can slow down Cam Boozer and Duke's dominant interior presence, it might be UVA. But guys, I want to take a look at some predictions maybe for this game. Like you mentioned, it was a near 30-point win for Duke when these 2 teams faced each other a couple weeks ago, but I think we'd all be surprised if we get such a lopsided outcome today.
Well, I think that UVA and Duke have an interesting juxtaposition here. UVA comes in as the top-ranked team in the ACC in league play when it comes to their 2-point defense. Meanwhile, Duke comes in as the top 2-point team when it comes to shooting on offense. So you have an interesting 1 versus 1 battle here, top of the line versus top of the line. I think that Duke still has enough to outlast the Cavaliers and wins here 81-75 here in the Spectrum Center.
I agree with you, Thomas. I think the Blue Devils will confidently take down the Virginia Cavaliers. That 3-point prowess for the Duke Blue Devils is just going to be too strong. Surprisingly, it's Cameron Boozer who leads Duke in the 3-point percentage, right around that 42% clip. So he's going to get on fire tonight for them. I have the Duke Blue Devils taking this one 88-72.
Yeah, I think you're on to something, Caden. I think Virginia's got a really good team, and I think Duke's just simply better. They've got a better offense. They've got a better defense. They're just kind of all around better. I see this being 92-86 Duke. I think it'll be closer than the last time these 2 teams met, but I think Duke still pulls away with the win. And that'll do it for our writers panel. Thank you very much for watching, and back to you.
Thank you, guys. Well, it's not often that the ACC has some historic news, but today there is a historic feat across two sports in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and Anya Donapanini has more on that.
Thanks, Landon. Here's a pretty wild ACC stat for you. Since 2005, the two teams that played for the ACC Men's Football Championship have not met in the ACC Championships for men's basketball. That's over 20 years of football powers and basketball powers not lining up in the same title matchup. However, this year that streak is about to end because this year the two teams playing for the ACC Men's Basketball Championship are the Duke Blue Devils and Virginia Cavaliers, which are the same exact programs that met earlier in the ACC Men's Football Championship. So since the first time the conference introduced the football title game in 2005, the ACC is getting the same matchup for both championships. And that honestly tells us a lot about these two programs because usually in the ACC, success rotates. One school dominates football and the other dominates basketball. And this year, Virginia and Duke are doing both. And that's what makes this matchup even more interesting because it's not just the basketball title on the line, it's also the first time in nearly 2 decades that the ACC has two same schools competing in both conference championships. And if that doesn't add a little bit of spice to this matchup, I don't know what does. Thanks, you guys. Back to you guys.
Great stuff, Anya. Well, Tony Bennett left Virginia in 2024, and they were in a lot of traffic in that 2025 season. But Ryan Odom has helped them seamlessly merge into that left lane, and now they're cruising into the ACC title game, where Sam Mostow has more on how Ryan Odom got to that coaching position.
You could argue that Ryan Odom was born for this moment. Virginia's head basketball coach said that he would treat Saturday's ACC championship game against Duke like any other game, but in reality, it is anything but. When Odom's father, Dave, was an assistant at Virginia in the 1980s, young Ryan was a ball boy during games at University Hall. Dave eventually became the head coach at Wake Forest for 12 years, and during that time, Ryan attended ACC tournaments at the Greensboro Coliseum to see the storied basketball conference's annual championship. Following a 4-year stint as the point guard at Hampton-Sydney College, Ryan mounted a coaching career of his own. He became an assistant at Furman, UNC Asheville, American, Virginia Tech, and Charlotte before earning his first head coaching gig at the Division II level. From there, he spent 5 seasons at UMBC, during which he led the Retrievers to the first ever 16 seed to defeat a 1 seed. UMBC's opponent in that game, Virginia. 2 more brief head coaching stints at Utah State and VCU later, and Odom picked up the UVA job after former Hall of Famer Tony Bennett retired. In his first season, the Cavaliers finished second in the ACC with a 29-4 record and advanced to their first ACC championship game since 2023 and could win the conference for the first time since 2018. Maybe it's just lip service. For every coach, their current job is their dream job. But if anyone understands the gravity of Saturday's ACC championship game, it's Ryan Odom. From Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Sam Mostow.
Great stuff, Sam. And when you get to this stage of the game, it takes a lot of chemistry and heart to make it to the championship game. And for the Duke Blue Devils, they've had a family affair that has helped them propel to the championship game. Here's Hayden Tolbert on the Boozers family history.
When you talk about legacies in the ACC, there's very few stories that are compelling as this Boozer family story, where we go back 2+ decades and a very, very iconic team in the Duke Blue Devils. More than 2 decades ago, Carlos Boozer was a key piece in the success of Duke's national championship run. As a power forward, Boozer built his reputation with physical play in the paint, strong rebounding, and efficient scoring. His impact helped Duke remain at the top of the ACC and the national stage. One of Boozer's biggest moments came during the 2002 ACC tournament, where Duke powered its way through the tournament and captured the championship, with Boozer delivering standout performances that earned him Tournament Most Valuable Player honors. That title added to an already historic run for the program during the early 2000s. Just a year earlier, Boozer was also a part of Duke's championship run in 2001, helping the Blue Devils reach the top of college basketball. His college success eventually led to a long and productive NBA career, but his impact at Duke remains one of the most defining parts of his basketball story. And the Boozer name is still relevant today, as Carlos's twin sons, Cameron and Caden, have emerged as 2 of the most exciting young talents in the sport. Both players have developed strong reputations for their skill and high IQ for the game. Cameron Boozer has become known as a dominant forward with the ability to score at multiple levels while controlling the glass with his size and strength. As well, Caden brings a different but equally important presence to the floor as a guard. With strong playmaking ability and leadership, he helps guide the offense and creates opportunities for teammates while maintaining control of the game's pace. Together, the Boozer twins have helped push Duke's deep run in the ACC tournament, putting them within reach of a championship like their father once celebrated. Now, if Caden and Cameron can finish this off and win a championship, it won't be just another championship for Duke. It'll be one of the most compelling and amazing stories in recent years. For 3304 Sports, I'm Hayden Talbert. Back to you, Riley.
Thanks, Hayden. So the Boozer family is going to be important to close out this tournament for the Duke Blue Devils, but all week long it's been a heck of a tournament and a lot of great games, Landon.
Yeah, a lot of great games. There have been some buzzer beaters, some blowouts, but overall it was really entertaining.
And to take us through the whole thing, let's walk 94 feet with Robert Bateman and Taylor Brella.
13 games down, 1 to go. The 2026 ACC tournament has not disappointed so far. Taylor, it's been pretty fun so far. We've seen literally everything from missed shots at the buzzer to overtime. It's been a pretty exciting tournament.
It's been very exciting, and it's the championship game today, but there has been a lot that has happened in that action. We started off with day one. Number 15 Pittsburgh took on number 10 Stanford. In the first game, the first upset of the tournament, a shot made with 0.8 seconds to go. Pitt's leading scorer in that game was Barry Dunning Jr., but it was Marco Minor that got the game-winning shot. You go to number 11 SMU versus number 14 Syracuse. Leading scorer in that one, Boopy Miller, 25 points for the Mustangs as they breezed by the Orange, 86-69. That takes us into that third game of the day one slate. Virginia Tech, a chance to win it at the buzzer over Wake Forest, but Jalen Bedford not able to get it to go. The Hokies defense faltered in overtime, giving up 20 points, and Wake Forest advanced on to day two.
And then Pitt was back in action, the number 15 seed taking on the number 7 NC State Wolfpack. And their first matchup, Quadir Copeland balled out for NC State, and the Wolfpack got that one done 98-88. You move on to game 2, and it was number 11 SMU back in action against number 6 Louisville. And it was tight the entire way until Ryan Conwell hit a 3 late to give Louisville the lead, and they ran away from there 62-58. Day 2, game 3 was a fun one as well, as Robert McRae V balled out 30 points for Florida State as they knocked off Cal to move on in the tournament. Day 2, game 4 then tipped off, and it was number 5 Clemson taking on number 13 Wake Forest. The Clemson Tigers were absolutely dominant in this one, leading for nearly the entire game, so they punched their ticket to day 3 in the quarterfinal.
Punching their ticket to the quarterfinals, joining another 4-game slate on day 3 that tipped off between the Virginia Cavaliers and the NC State Wolfpack. The Cavaliers with an 81-74 win. Malik Thomas with 18 points in that one. The second game of that 4-game slate, number 3 Miami took on number 6 Louisville in what was a strong performance for the Hurricanes, a 78-73 win there as they punched their ticket to the semifinals. You go to game 3 on day 3 and you look at Duke taking on Florida State. One of 2 80-79 finals on day 3. Duke with a scary possible loss there, but a combined effort from Isaiah Evans and from Cameron Boozer, 55 total points. They were able to hang on. Taking us into the final game of the day 3 slate between UNC and Clemson, a game where Clemson led by as much as 18 points in that second half. North Carolina tried to make it close in the end, but the Tigers moved on to the semifinals.
So the semifinals were set, and number 2 Virginia took on number 3 Miami, and the Cavaliers were able to run away with this one going into the half, and then from there they never looked back, punching their ticket to the ACC tournament final.
And that left one last semifinals game between number 1 Duke and number 5 Clemson. A dominant performance for the Blue Devils, taking a 73-61 win, advancing them to the ACC championship for the second straight year.
And we find ourselves at the other baseline, so we'll send you back to the guys, but it's Virginia and Duke. Your ACC tournament final is all set and ready to go.
Thanks, guys. Well, now that we know how we got to this point, we also know there will be a crowd to show up to the Spectrum Center today. And in just a few minutes, these gates behind me are going to be flooded with fans of Duke, UVA, and others around the ACC. But although right now it's empty behind me, we have our own Robbie Ackerley out in the streets of Charlotte to get predictions of who wins today's matchup.
Thank you, Riley. Well, now we're outside the Spectrum Center, where in just a couple of minutes, the Duke Blue Devils and Virginia Cavaliers are set to do battle in the ACC Championship. But you've heard enough from us, so let's take to the streets and see what the people of Charlotte think. We're here, we're downtown. Sir, can you answer a question for me? All right, we got the ACC Championship today, Duke versus Virginia. Who's taking it home?
Well, as you can see, I'm a Duke fan.
You guys got a second real quick? All right, bud. Virginia's taking on Duke. Who do you got?
UVA.
UVA, who do you got, sir?
I
think UVA too.
UVA is going to take it. Sir, I can't help but notice the shirt. Virginia, Duke, who you got tonight?
Oh, I'm hoping the Cavaliers win. I'm a little nervous.
Little nervous, but hoping the Cavs win. We got a good crew coming up here. Guys, can you answer a question for me real quick? Duke, UVA doing battle later. Who's going to take it home?
I'm a North Carolina boy. I got to go for Duke.
Got to go for Duke. Who's it taking home, Duke or Virginia?
Duke all the way, baby. North Carolina.
Duke?
Duke.
Duke. Duke. We've been sent on a mission by someone's wife to go interview their husband. We got to complete that mission right now. ACC Championship happening right there in the Spectrum Center. Duke, UVA, who you got?
Virginia.
Virginia, heard it here first. Sir, can you answer a question for me real quick? Oh, no thanks. Notice another Duke sweatshirt. Gotta see what's on his mind, guys. We gotta know. Sir, can I stop you for a second? I noticed the sweatshirt, I noticed the hats. Who's taking it home tonight, Duke or Virginia?
Boy. This is a Duke Invitational, let's go.
Duke Invitational, first time I've heard that one. We got a little St. Patty's Day function going on behind us. Let's ask some people some questions, let's have fun. Virginia versus Duke.
Duke, all the way, I'm a Duke fan, man. Carolina.
Duke is taking it. They're going all the way. I don't care. ACC Championship, NCAA Tournament, they're going all the way.
All the way, everything?
Everything.
We got a UVA fan spot on the bench. I'm gonna pop a squat next to her, see what she thinks. Ma'am, you mind if I take a seat next to you real quick? Virginia, Duke, set to do battle. Who's taking it home?
Well, I hope that we're taking it home, but I don't want to bet for it and jinx it, so.
Doesn't want to jinx it, but she's pulling for Virginia.
Absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate you. Miami, sir. Yes. Miami's been eliminated.
We have?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
I have to go home then.
I know, right? No, we got to enjoy the game tonight. Duke, Virginia, who you got?
Virginia.
Virginia, he says it not with a smile on his face, though. We're here back on the street. Got one question. Duke versus Virginia tonight.
You know, we're going to take the dub. What you think?
I don't think they agree.
Let me tell you, go Duke!
Duke only. Let's go.
I'm going Duke.
We have to go UVA. We live in DC. What are you doing?
What are you doing? What do you say?
Duke.
Duke in that shirt? In the heel shirt, she goes with the Blue Devils.
Tune in, 8:30 Eastern Time. Tune in.
Well, that's all the city of Charlotte thinks about tonight's matchup. Now, Riley, Landon, let's send it back to you guys.
Robbie, that was fantastic stuff. Looks like the city is ready, and so are we. For our reporters, he's Riley Klaus, I'm Landon Weaver, signing off from outside of Charlotte, and let's go watch some basketball.